Hi guys, welcome back to our Dutch farmhouse. If you've been following along for any amount of time, you know that we have a very ugly bit in our living room, and that is the floor. So the entire downstairs of this house has a very specific floor tile. It's a very old tile that came out of an abbey at some point, and we are not completely sure how old it is, but it could be over hundreds of years old. So that is really cool. It's very special. So we decided to leave that. But in the center of our living room was a really big patch of carpet. Now that carpet was white, and we have 2 dogs and a kid running around, so that is not ideal. Additionally, we had some issues with a smell that was here when we moved in, so we took out the carpet hoping that would solve that issue. It didn't, but it was still nice to take out the white carpet. It was never gonna work. But we had very much planned to replace that carpet with a beautiful wooden floor. Now it turned out that the wood that was underneath the carpet was too high to do that, so if we had put a wooden floor on top of that, it would have been higher than the tiles around it, which we didn't want. So we would have had to take out the wood, but when we did that, it turns out that there was a whole gap underneath, and then there was cement under that. So at that point, we decided to just put that whole project on hold and make it into a bigger project, because that gap, that space underneath the wood, actually allowed us to put a heating system in there. So that is what we're gonna do. That is what they are coming to do next week. They are coming in to put that whole heating system in, which means that we have to take out all of that wood, which I am very much not excited about. And that is mostly because I am pretty convinced that underneath that wood there are 1,000 really big spiders, and they're all gonna jump at my face as soon as we take out the wood. So wish me luck. That should be fun. I'm not a fan of spiders.
Pakken we deze platen.
That is so much bigger, there's so many more spiders. You do it. I am not overreacting, you guys. These spiders are really big, and they are really freaking fast. I don't like it. But since I'm uploading this video, I did survive. No, don't make it move! Now the biggest challenge that we were going to run into is that the floor of the house is not completely level, which is perfectly understandable. It's an old house and it's perfectly okay, but we really want the wooden flooring to be pretty much the same height as the tiles around it. And I obviously want that to be the case in the entire room. It really can't be different heights in different places. So we have very kindly asked the floor heating guys to pay very close attention to that. But to be very honest, I am not sure if that is even going to be possible at all. I really hope so though, because I can imagine if the wooden floor is going to be a little bit higher than the tile, then the wood would chip and wear in those places very easily, you know, with the vacuum hitting the edge and things like that, but we'll see. So we removed the wood over the weekend, and then that Monday the guys for the floor came by and they did a whole bunch of prep work. So all of the materials were delivered. They are using these really large kind of tiles that the heating pipes are going to lay inside of. The actual heating system with all of the knobs and things, don't ask me what that's called. I don't know things. That was built in what is going to be our pantry. It's obviously hidden away. There's some work that needed to be done underneath the house as well, and they drilled the holes and brought the necessary pipes and things into the living room. And then they came with some bad news. Okay, so we hit a little bit of a snag. It turns out that the floor is not perfectly flat or like leveled. We knew this. We knew that the floor wasn't level. We were also pretty sure that it wasn't going to be completely smooth when we took out all of the wood, but we had kind of hoped that it would be good enough for them to work with, and it's not. There's too big a difference between this area here and the area back there. You can see here that it just suddenly steps down a little bit, which obviously if you're gonna put one of those, oh, that's bright. If you're gonna put those tiles on there, they're gonna break. So the whole project has been put on hold. Somebody's coming next week, if everything goes well, and they're going to smooth out the entire floor, and then that should be good enough. And then they can continue. So for now, there's nothing to be done here. This is our living room now for a while. So I think I should find another project to work on in the meantime. One thing that's very nice that I had the opportunity to do now, I had them put in an electrical outlet right there underneath the couch, which is a really weird spot, I realize. But if you remember, the only power outlet that I have right now is right there in the corner, and that powers everything of the TV. And then all of the other outlets are like on the walls. So there is nothing in the center of this room, and I would really like a light there. And also it would be so nice if I could just plug in my laptop and things when I'm working on the couch and my laptop runs out. You know, I have no place to charge anything. There's a lot of situations where I wish that I could plug something in from the couch. So I actually had them put in a electrical point on the floor. And I'm just going to make sure that when the floor gets in, it gets like a nice built-in look. So the floor is going to be laid around it and it's going to look really nice. And also you can't see it because it's under the couch. The one thing though, and that is kind of my fault. I discussed with the guy that was doing this how I wanted it. So he had this single electrical point thing, like the plastic thing, and he put it there and he was like, where do you want it? And I'm like, okay, just put it as close as you can to that brick thing. And so we held it in place and I was like, yes, just there, put it there. But I want 2 outlets, not just 1. So then I walked away and went about my own business. He went out and got a double, and then he put it in, and I never actually went back to check. So he didn't put it in exactly the way I had envisioned it. He put it in like sideways. I can't really show you very well because we put the couch back on. He put it in perpendicular to the brick, and I really would have liked it this way. That was the idea. But you know, it's okay. It's very nice that he went and did this for me because this was the only way that we could do it. I thought that we had to run the wire underneath the house, but that is actually a lot harder, turns out, than this way. So I'm very happy that he did it. And I'm just going to, you know, I mean, you can't really see it anyway. The couch is on top of it, so it's fine.
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done. Sorry's won't be enough this time. Yeah, he's calling all his friends to get some action and distract him right now. He's fine, got Lucy on the line, let's get this started. Where's the party tonight? I feel good, nothing weighs me down. I can't believe my luck right now. Red eyes while he said, don't you wanna have fun? Fool around with
The next week, this guy came to smooth out the floor with cement, and he did a really, really great job making the floor exactly the right height all around so that hopefully the wooden floors are going to be flush with the tiles. I am so very happy with how this turned out. It looks absolutely, well, I mean, it looks a little weird and it's definitely not a finished floor, but it looks really, really good for what it is. This is our living room now, you guys. All of the furniture is stacked up in the strangest of places. We have the couch set up so that it blocks the way for the dogs so that they can't get onto the cement that's still drying. Everything is incredibly dusty, but the floor is looking really good. They will be continuing the work in a couple of weeks. So until then, our living room will be a little bit of a construction zone. So for those of you who followed my Vlogmas videos, you guys know that this guy here had a very serious surgery back in December. They removed a 3-kilo tumor out of his belly. It was a spleen tumor, And it was very dangerous because it could rupture at any moment and then he would bleed out from the inside, which is very, very sad. Now they removed it, but we knew that there was a possibility that it would come back, and it did. And it actually grew way faster than we thought it would. So it is again posing a very serious threat to his life, but he is almost 14. We're not going to put him through another surgery only to have it come back again, because that is probably what's going to happen. Additionally, he has a neurological issue where his back legs stop working. So every now and then he just falls over, or he loses all the strength in his legs and he just falls down every time, and it's heartbreaking. So we have decided, well, actually the vet advised us to, and then we decided to put him down. It's going to happen fairly soon. We have a great vet. She's actually coming to our house to do it. So it's going to be all very calm and very peaceful. It's a very, very tough decision because every now and then he looks at you and he looks perfectly fine. So you're like, are we doing this too soon? But there's such a big chance that this tumor will rupture and it will be horrible. That is not, we wanted to avoid that at any cost. That's the situation. I don't want to make this into a very dramatic video at all, but I know that a lot of you guys followed along during Vlogmas, and I know that a lot of you comment on videos when it comes to the dogs. So I just wanted to let you know what was happening. I am going to end this video here. I'm going to cuddle this guy for a bit. This living room is not going to be done for a long time, so I'm going to be working on other projects soon, and I will be circling back to the living room project later. But for now, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.